We are here in the, what'd you call it, dungeon?
Yeah, I mean, it's my little dungeon. Yeah, no, it's just where we jam and we write and record.
The lovely dungeon of Fitz from Bad Marriage. How you doing,
I'm
Fitz?
good, man. I'm glad you came out. This is a long drive for you.
Yeah, I got nothing else to do on
Awesome.
what day is it? I don't even know what day of the week it is.
You asking me? I never know.
Tuesday, I think?
It is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday. We got it.
So you've been doing some rehearsals, some prep. You got the upcoming tour with Enough's Enough and Choir Boys.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about that. And coming up quick, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We got some shows before that, some local stuff. Every year we do. We play these Laconia Bike Week. It's in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Daytona Bike Week or a Sturgis.
Yeah.
We do that every year. It's a place called the Looney Bin. So we're preparing for that. That's this week, Thursday and Friday. But then after that, yeah, I think we got one gig locally here in Worcester with Lynch Mob. That's coming up too. That's in 2 weeks, and then we leave for the Choir Boys Enough's Enough tour. So I'm excited.
And there's something special about that tour. Would you like to tell
There
everybody
is.
what is happening there?
Yeah, well, we have a special guest guitar player. We're going to be adding a third guitar player, so no one's going anywhere. Great. Yeah, so and it's Tommy Skeoch. Yeah. Obviously, he was formerly in Tesla.
Yeah.
He's also in a band called Resistant Bite, who you and I know very well.
Yeah.
So
hi, Nate.
Yeah, hi all. So we're very, very excited about it. I mean, me and Tommy have built a relationship, a great relationship over the past year. So we're just bringing him on board, and hopefully it goes well. And who knows? The world is our oyster after that.
So from what I'm hearing so far, it sounds like things are going well. But talk a little bit about bringing him in. You were telling me how you did it, how it all came about. It was pretty strange. It was kind of a mixture of his idea and your idea, how it all came together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah. So, well, I first met him in person on the Monsters of Rock cruise. Bad Marriage had played 2022, and his band Resistant Bite were on the same cruise. They were playing as well. So I saw him down on the cruise ship at the casino. So I just introduced myself, and we started talking about Gibson guitars and Marshall amps, and we still talk about that stuff every day. So we love, we're just big gear nerds. But we stayed in touch, text messaging and online and stuff. And I had posted a riff of a new song we're working on, and he commented on it like he really liked it. He was right up his alley or whatever. So, I said, you know what, I'm gonna send this guy that song and see if he wants to play on it. Because it didn't really didn't have any lead guitars on it yet. I usually do that last. Yeah. So I said, hey, see if Tommy's into it. He's already into this one riff of it. So, long story short, he sent me back. Some guitar tracks on it, playing, some lead guitars on it, and it blew me away. And it really brought the sound of Bad Marriage and that song in particular, really 3D. And because Tommy has a thing, right? Tommy has his own unique sound, and he does a lot with the whammy bar on this song, and me and Ian don't really mess with the whammy bar. It's not really our thing, and so it's really badass. Yeah. So I'm excited for everyone to hear it.
So now, in terms of playing live with Tommy, how are you doing? Are you just breaking up solos?
We honestly have no idea.
All right.
We're just going to literally just dice roll and just see what happens. And I'm not even really kidding. We've had a few rehearsals down here. He's coming back, I think in a week right before tour. But,
his mattress is set up over there.
Yep, his mattress is usually, right there. It's leaned up against the wall so we can walk. But yeah, Tommy's bedroom is down here, and he loves it because he's surrounded by guitars and Marshalls and stuff. But, look, 3 guitars is not what we ever envisioned in Bad Marriage, but it's Tommy Skeoch, and I think we're going to do some great stuff. I think writing wise, I think we're going to really take the songwriting. Sorry, it's my phone vibrating.
I thought it was mine.
Yeah. Put it on the ground. But it's going to take our songwriting to a next level and stuff like that. But as far as live, I think it's just going to be a trial and error thing. We got to kind of figure out, how it's going to sound and who plays what part. I mean, we have a lot of it nailed down, but I think it'll just get better as we gain experience by playing the shows. I mean, we have 23 shows in July, so that's a lot. That's almost 6 a week. So it's it's gonna be fun, and we'll have it figured out by the end of that tour. I guarantee it.
Yeah. So have you started doing any writing with Tommy, or it's just been
Well,
more
that one song, I guess, I guess it's writing, because I had most of the song done, all the main riffs and everything done, but he kind of played on top of it.
Yeah.
And the first time he came here to rehearse for Bad Marriage, he came for 4 days, and the first day, me and him just grabbed a couple guitars, and I think we came up with like 4 different ideas that are kind of like, I call them backbones for songs, and they're all 4 of them are very promising. And since then, he's given me a CD of a bunch of stuff he's had over the years, and he's basically like, just pick through it. Like if you like one riff of this song, or a couple from here, do whatever you want. Log it, mark them down. Yeah. And we can go from there. He's like, you can change it up and whatever. So I'm going to go through that stuff, and I've already have. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff, but between the two of us, I think we'll have plenty. Yeah, plenty of new material.
So now, what's the mindset going? Because this tour is going to span across like the U.S. You guys play a lot locally. So what is your mindset when you get to go to other places and play for them for what is most likely going to be a new audience?
Yeah, honestly, the mindset is be present, right? Like obviously playing. We know how to play. We know how to perform. Obviously, we're constantly working on getting better. But like that, you grow up playing on stage and doing that. But like, it's kind of do or die. Like, so when you're out there, just getting fans, making them feel like their family right away, talking to them, embracing them, taking whatever pictures they want, signing whatever they want, just talking to people. It goes such a long way, spending time with people, and that's how we've got a lot of our diehard Bad Marriage family fans, and that's the mindset. And it's just be present. We don't hide. We're out there as much as we can, and just doing our thing. And I think it goes a long way.
So are you going to try to focus more on like expanding now in the future? Because obviously COVID kind of slowed stuff down, but now you're able to start getting out there again more.
Yeah, I mean, we had come off a bunch of tours supporting Tesla. I mean, we've done a bunch with them, and that was just huge for us. Yeah. I mean, those crowds were not only huge, but they were awesome because, fans of Tesla and that whole rock and roll genre just want to rock. They, you know what I mean? They love the music. They just, and they embraced us really well. So we actually got quite a few new fans from that. And then COVID obviously stopped everybody, but that was a bummer for us. But so we're trying to just pick up the pieces and go full throttle again.
That's full throttle.
No, you saw what I did there.
Yeah. But so your relationship with Tesla, which is also separate from the one with Tommy. It's weird, but they also can join. But how did that all come about? Because you work with all of those guys now. You help mix their stuff, master their stuff. Who was the first you kind of met, and how did it blossom into just you knowing everybody?
Yeah, it's a crazy. The Tesla family and the Tesla story for Bad Marriage is really cool, and it's definitely unique. But in a nutshell, we got an opportunity, I believe, in 2019 or 18, I think, 18 or 19, to open for them in 3 dates in New England. One was the House of Blues in Boston, one was in Maine, and one was in New Hampshire. Yeah. And, they didn't know who we were. Obviously, we were just, we were asked to support. They needed an opening band. Yeah. So we did that. And by the second show, Brian Wheat, who's become like a big brother to me, called us. By the second show in Maine, he called us in a room and was like, "Hey, I really like you guys. I like the way you carry yourself. I have a studio," kind of giving me, what he does. He likes to produce bands. And so that's kind of how it started. And then we wrote a couple songs with him. I'm sure we'll get into that. He produced our latest EP. Yeah. And it just started from there. Then we landed a couple more tours with them, some bigger ones, touring the country. And it's just been amazing. And everyone in the whole Tesla camp from A to Z has just been really, really cool and really helpful. Yeah.
So for producing, how did you get started doing that? Because you do that for, I mean, obviously Brian does it for some of your stuff, but for Bad Marriage, you produce like master. That's kind of your station setup over here. How did you start doing that? Is that all self-taught?
It's self-taught. I mean, I know a lot of, sound engineers, mixing engineers, mastering, so I can look for for advice and kind of help and stuff like that. But I basically needed to. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to start Bad Marriage, and I said, money is a huge thing, obviously, right? Like, and recording costs a lot of money. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna, you know, spend everything I have. I think I sold some guitars, whatever I had to get the right recording gear, right?
Yeah.
So because I'm like, I got to do this myself because we just are not going to have the money for, you know, and we never want to be a band that never puts out music, you know, and we always want to just keep putting stuff out, right? Keeping, you know, just keeping everything fresh and so I just started learning, and I knew, like I said, I know plenty of people that I was always asking, you know, hey, how do you do this? What's the best microphone to use this? Or I'm trying to, you know, get this kind of sound. And so I just learned recording myself. I started doing all the Bad Marriage stuff, and yeah, I recorded and mixed all of our stuff, and then I started getting into mastering. I don't know, I really don't even know why or how. It's definitely a crazy sport.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love mastering now. It's a whole different animal. You know, if anyone doesn't know what it is, it's kind of taking like the final mix of a song and kind of, you know, prepping it to before it goes to either radio or streaming or stuff like that. You know, whether it's just simply turning up a great sounding mix or it's making it sound wider or, you know, warmer. There's a lot to it. But I do like that stuff. And yeah, so Brian Weed ended up producing this latest EP.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I kind of gave the reins to someone else because he's really good at recording, mixing, and producing. So I just gave it to him, but I mastered the new one. So I kind of still you know, put my touches on it. But you know, Brian did an excellent job.
And so, what kind of feedback have you been getting on the first two singles that are out from it?
Well, I think good. You know, we you know, it's almost like every time you put out a single, you almost have to have a really good video with it. You know what I mean, or a lyric video, something.
Be like an event.
Yeah. And you know, it's unfortunate because you put all this time into a song and then a video, and then you put it out, and it's like 2 days later, it's forgotten about. You know, so you got to kind of find ways to keep those relative, and I think one of them is by touring. So I think this is really going to help push these two singles. You know, the first one we put out a few months ago is called Tear It Down, and the coolest part about that song is Jeff Keith from Tesla is singing like kind of gang vocal style on the chorus. And it's just super cool. And he's also featured on 2 of the other songs on our EP. So that's just amazing in itself to have him, you know, to be able to say, hey, that's Jeff, you know, because to me, he's one of the greatest. So to have him on Bad Marriage songs is amazing. And, you know, Brian made that happen in the studio and you know, so the singles are doing well. I mean, you know, that's a huge help for us, but I think ultimately getting on the road, playing the songs live, letting people hear them, you know, then hopefully, you know, selling some CDs or selling some, you know, getting people to, you know, add us on Spotify and all that stuff.
So do you have a plan for when are you going to release like the EP in full now, or is it going to be just single until
actually,
it's all out?
Right. Actually, the EP, we're technically, the CDs are actually out. So you can actually buy a hard copy disc, but as far as
streaming.
Streaming, it actually comes out this Friday.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. And we wanted to have it available right before we leave for that tour. So we just released our second single and music video called Art.
Right here.
Yeah, that's right. Artificial Mind. And I did not put that there. That's been there for.
I don't believe you.
But so that's our latest single, and it's a cool tune. And you know, Friday the whole thing comes out. It's 5 songs, and I think people are really going to dig it. It still sounds like Bad Marriage, but you can tell that someone else, you know, kind of had a hand in it and produced it, which I love. I just think it gives just a little bit different of an angle, and I think it works.
So have you learned anything from, well, I'm assuming you have, but just from like mastering or mixing from Brian? Like what's some of the most valuable stuff?
Oh my God,
you've learned from him?
Yeah, it's invaluable. I've spent a lot of time with Brian, you know, at his house or at his old studio, probably over a dozen times, and just watching. Sometimes, you know, I won't even say anything, and he's working, and I'm looking, I'm taking notes. And if I see really, you know, a cool piece of software he's using or a plug-in they're called, and like I'll take notes of it, and I'll see why he's using that, where he's applying it, so stuff like that. But he's also, he's been pretty hands-on. If I ask, I can call him and say, hey, what's the best microphone to get this sound, or if I'm recording acoustic guitar, and you gather this input from a bunch of different people, not just him. Like I said, I have a lot of friends that I grew up with watching them record, and you kind of gather all the information, and you kind of carve your own way, but knowing all that stuff.
And so is it the same for writing, because you're writing with these people who have like iconic sounds and like they've had hits of their own? Like, what kind of stuff do you learn from that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I like having a great arrangement for a song, right? Like not, I like the format sound of not being too boring, and getting like a solid song where it just keeps your attention. You know what I mean? And that's not to say we can't have some longer songs and stuff, but I think that stuck with me the most, and how to, I say, trim the fat with songs, because everyone, including me, have a lot of parts to songs, and some of them just don't really need to be there. So you kind of trim the fat, and you come and you try and, without losing, integrity, but you end up having like the meat and potatoes of the song, and realizing, what are the really killer parts to make sure are there, and to keep the listener,
engaged.
100% engaged. Yeah.
So now for the future, obviously EP on streaming coming out Friday. Are you looking at doing a full-length album next? Because now you're going to have, I'm assuming, an overflow of riffs and stuff from Tommy. You're going to have a lot of material.
Yeah, I mean, even us, like, even before Tommy, I have tons of songs that are like, I would say, anywhere from 70 to 90% done already. But, you can only put out so much stuff. This Artificial Mind EP has been actually done for over a year. So it's just trying to find the right time to put it out is another thing. So that can kind of set bands back, is you don't want to rush it, but you definitely don't want to wait and be forgotten about, Like, I think the hardest thing for a band nowadays is how to stay relevant, and just by content, by keep putting out content. So we have a ton of songs, and now Tommy in the mix has his own stuff. So I think between all of that, I think we're going to have, it's almost overkill, and we're going to have to wrangle that. And full length is definitely on the horizon.
Yeah. So are we looking at also then an increase in shows to promote that? Are you guys going to try to get on like more festivals and stuff?
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, touring is literally the only way that we found to get your stuff out there, and be, like I said, be engaging with the crowd. Obviously you got to have the social media presence, but you still got to be out there playing. People, no matter what, still love live music, and but it's tough, because when you're touring, it's hard to be here writing and recording. So it's finding that balance where you can't spend too much time in the studio, because people will forget about you because you're not out there constantly in the circuit, So hopefully we can find, a happy medium with that stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, you mentioned social media. Not many bands like are in their Facebook groups, like interacting with fans, but you guys are. Has that just always been something that you've been about? Just trying to just mingle with as many people as possible?
Yeah, it's the same thing when we play live. It's, we have to stay. I mean, this is all our personalities too. Like, we're not like doing something we like dread. Yeah. It's just, we like anytime someone, likes a riff or a new song or a t-shirt of ours, that's cool, man. That means we're doing something right. Yeah. So it's like, why not, say, man, that's cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support. And I think it's just super important, especially us. We're an up and coming band. We're not, we need to be out there. And again, like I said, we got to engage with our fans and show them that we actually care. Yeah. So we have that cool private, I say private, it's a private Facebook group.
Everybody's very nice. They're not.
Yeah. It's they're called the Bad Marriage Society. We just keep it private, so we can't get like spammed. So if you want to be a member, yeah. But so it's a cool group, and we got a few thousand people on there that want to be there, and that's another thing. If it's not a public group, they actively had to join.
Yeah.
So you know that they want to, engage with other Bad Marriage fans, or they love when we chime in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I like when if I write something and then another band member from another band comments on it. It makes me feel good. Like, oh wow, they're real. They're not.
Oh my God.
They're not a cartoon character.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that is all I have for you, sir. If there's anything else
Awesome.
you'd like to have for the future, whatever you got coming up, feel free.
Again, thanks for coming down. I know it was a long ride. I know we tried to do this on the cruise, and you know how things get.
It's very, very a lot.
Yeah. That cruise was a blast. But we're just looking forward to stuff on the new horizons, like Tommy joining. Hopefully we can write some killer music like we talked about. I think the tour with Enough's Enough and the Choir Boys in July is going to be great. We got a bunch of other shows after that.
Yeah.
So, the website's badmarriagemusic.com if anyone's, interested in seeing where we're playing or any merchandise, stuff like that, So other than that, man. What's that?
Do that.
Do what?
Go on the website. Look
at everything. Do that.
Social medias, all that fun stuff.
Exactly. Do that.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right,
Fitz.
buddy. Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to go explore this cave.
Yeah, you
wherever
do.
we are.
Have at it.